Welcome to another MP4Nation.net video review. Today we have the new Onda VX797HD. This is one massive player. I mean, literally, it's just... This thing is huge. The box is just massive. So is the player. I mean, this box is about, about half the size larger than the VX 545 box, and that too was large itself. And staying to tradition, Onda uses the exact same body design as they've used for the last 10, 15 players. Anyway, let me just show you the accessories that this will come with. It does come with your TV out cables, for your audio out, standard USB cable, clean cloth for the screen, your standard user manual. Ones we will get will be in English. Your standard Onda earphones, and disc with additional programs, stuff that you may need. Probably not though. Here's a monster player itself. I mean, let me just, there we go. Zoomed out a little bit more there. As you can see, it's actually not that thick of a player considering its size, but nonetheless, it is a very large screen player. It has a 7-inch high-resolution 800 by 480 resolution screen. It's very nice, very bright and crisp. Doesn't have the best viewing angles, but yet, it's still nice. The overall body design is quite nice. I like the steel back, and it's just like a oversized candy bar that you can buy at like a novelty store and stuff. It's almost got that feel to it. Surprisingly, it is. I mean, it is a bit heavy, but it's right for its size. It doesn't feel too light, doesn't feel too heavy. Here are your buttons, your top navigation buttons up here. You got two. It doesn't have a remote control, which normally these players come with, but this one does not have. It has a micro SD slot here, your TV out and your earphone slot there, your power slot, and your 5-pin USB slot here. Yeah, your power. Let me just turn this on. And this does use the CC1600 media chip, so it does have very good audio playback, video playback, and it does have a additional audio chips, so allowing it to have good audio quality too. However, it's like your standard CC1600 player that we've become accustomed to, so the interface is rather simplistic. Here's your main menu, so we'll start with the music. And because of this big screen size, everything, all the icons and everything look a little bit bigger, a lot more easier to navigate and such. And here, your music does read through ID3 tags, but the way it's laid out and due to the buttons, I can't say it's the most convenient way to listen to music. And really, you don't get this player to listen to audio. You get this to watch videos on. So just turned on the audio. It does have two very loud speakers on the back here. But again, the interface is very simplistic, no owl mart or anything. This particular version of the firmware doesn't have equalizer yet, but I believe the newer version of the firmware will. Anyway, you got your video. This is what you really want this player for, is for the video. So, I guess the music's still playing in the background. Oops. And this does play high-resolution AVI and RMVB file formats. These are probably the two best formats handled on this type of player. It does support up to 1280 by 720 resolution. And because this thing is just so huge, I'm getting so much glare off the ceiling lights. So I'm having a little hard time. The screen is pretty good from the front side. It's quite bright, but unfortunately has that telltale again sign of Onda using lower quality, high resolution screens, you can't see it too well from down here, but straight up, it's great. Alright, let's fast forward to the next one. And again, this is the Tokyo Drift. And it's a very high resolution RMVB file, which plays fine. And you know, one of the big things is also this has TV out. It's pretty decent. It's a nice addition to this type of player. And this does have a very nice, very large battery, so you will get better viewing time on this than you normally find on most CC1600 media players. That's the same video.
One job, I wipe your slate clean.
And there are different, there are different options, you know, you zoom mode, you have different zoom mode, and you can also choose between component and composite TV out, so your normal or your more high definition TV out. Picture, you know. Again, many of you have seen this exact same interface on many different players, so if you've seen a couple of these video reviews for these CC1600 players, I'm sure you've become accustomed to this layout. It does make for a nice picture frame, you know. Put this on, like, use the end stand with this and, you know, make a great picture frame. Well, on its downtime, of course, you know, when you're not trying to use this for video playback. Go back, it does, you know, it's a nice, simple player. Ebook, you know, it's a massive ebook reader if those are really want to use this for ebook reading. You know, I'm going to touch on that. You know, these CC1600 players also have ability for third-party applications. The newer firmware does allow this, and two of the big things that I've seen so far that make this quite interesting is one, the ebook reader, which is a dedicated ebook reader, and the other is the PDF reader that has come out for these players. So those are two very interesting things that people should look into when buying this player. And there you got your FM radio system. Languages: English, Chinese, traditional. I think they do have more languages now. This actually unit we got kind of a little while back. I just haven't had time to do the video review. So the firmware, I do believe, has improved, and there may be additional language support and stuff. So here's your Onda VX797HD. It is certainly Onda's largest player to date. It is slimmer and a bit sleeker than the Chewy M70 Plus, but it is bigger. The M70 Plus is probably just about this big. This has this additional side stuff, which adds to more of the bulk anyway. And if you want to compare this is a 7-inch screen. I mean, this is the VX555 HD, which is a 3-inch screen player, and it's literally 1/4 the size of this. So keep that in mind when buying this. We will be having this on MP4 Nation, so head on over to mp4nation.net to check this out if you're interested in buying it, or head on over to our forums to discuss this. Thank you.